What is up, you guys? I am working on my new Nightwing suit, which Billy is currently sporting the pattern for. But before I can make any of the armor or anything like that, I have to make Nightwing sticks so that I can get a proper size for when I make the back piece that they will eventually be sticking into. Now, today I'm going to walk you through the entire process of how I'm going to do this. This is going to be a two-part video. Part one is going to be the actual assembly and construction of it, and part two will be finishing. So I'm not going to worry about painting and prepping it for paint and all that stuff today, but I'm going to give you a really good idea of how I'm going to go and put it all together. So I'm ready, so let's get going. Okay, first up we're going to need our materials. Now I'm going to be using PVC pipe for all of this. So you're going to need one 3/4 PVC pipe, one 1/2 inch PVC pipe, one 7/8 dowel. Now I've already cut these to length, and one 1/2 inch dowel. We are also going to be needing 3/4 couplers, 1/2 inch couplers, and 3/4 stoppers. Also, you will be needing a 1/2 inch to 3/4 step down reducer. Now, the tools that we're going to need to be putting all of this together is one pair of PVC pipe cutters. You could either use that or any general saw. One Dremel tool. And then just random bits of sandpaper in different grits or a sanding sponge. Okay, now the first thing that we have to do is we have to cut all of this pipe down to size. Now, I'm actually making two versions of these sticks. I am making a extended version and then a separate collapsible version. So, I've got all of my pipe measured out and marked, and I'm going to start cutting it with my PVC pipe cutters. Okay, now you guys are going to be seeing what I'm going to be doing with these dowels. Now my plan is, I do this with all of my staffs and everything, is I actually want to sand these down so that they fit inside of the PVC pipe. Now the reason I do that is just for some strength, and it also makes them it gives them some weight, and I really like the weight that putting a dowel rod inside of this pipe gives it. So I'm going to sand down these dowel rods and make it to where they fit inside. Okay, now that we've gotten all of our pieces cut, at least these first ones, you can start to see how I'm going to be laying out the shape. Now there is a little bit more that I want to do to this. I want to go and I'm going to start cleaning up all of my little pieces first, and I'm going to start putting 45-degree bevels on all of these edges, and I'm going to be doing this with these reducers, with the couplers, and with the plugs too. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing that. Okay, now I'm going to sit here and start cleaning up all of these. These are my couplers, and I really just want these to all have a 45-degree bevel right here on the edge. And I want these to be a little bit shorter, so I'm thinking right before the stopper I'm going to go and I'm going to cut them off. And that's about it. So these have to go in here. So I'm going to put these in as a reminder that these are my ends. Okay, now that I've gone along and I've put my 45-degree bevels on all of these pieces, now it's time to clean up the edges. Now, I have already started on these, so if you can see the difference, I have to take down all of these edges, and there's like some little lines from where they poured them and cast these pieces and things like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and start cleaning up these pieces one by one. And for that, I will be using these little sanding sticks that I made. I have 120, 400, and 220. And I also have a sanding sponge, and you'll just see how I'm working with these. Okay, now I've cleaned up all of my pieces, all of these bevels. Everything is looking really, really nice. There's just a few more things left that I have to do before I can actually start assembly. But I wanted to show you these two pieces in particular. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this with this light, but there's some lettering. And here there's a big bulge from where they cast this piece. I just wanted to show you how the steps that I took to go down through this. Now, to get rid of this lettering, I started off with my 120 grit sanding stick, and I just started working on it. Now, you can see most of that lettering now is gone. There's a little bit of a pour spout there. Let me just take that off. I'm thinking that's looking pretty good. Now I'm just going to go down through the rest of these grits and then clean it up with a sanding sponge. Now that's right where we need it to be. See, all the lettering is gone and that last little pour spout is gone. Now for this one, this was basically the exact same thing. This has this really big bulging pour spout, and I just want to go ahead and take that off really quick. And for that, I'm going to use my 120. Alright, and there we go. All of my pieces are now cleaned up. And I'm about ready for assembly, but there's just one last thing that I have to do. If you look inside here, if you can see that, there is a stopper. Now this is for whenever you're putting the PVC pipe together. It'll stop the pipes and then it'll let the water run through. But we don't need that, so we need to go in with our Dremel tool, and we're going to go ahead and grind off all of this stopper. And we're going to do that for all of our pieces. Okay, now it's time for gluing. Now, what I like to do when I glue something like this is I always like to start on the ends and work my way in. Because something like this is always going to be a smaller piece. It's going to be easier to get it all fixed together. But first, what I want to do is I want to mark where these couplers are, because I'm using this PVC clear cement, and it is extremely fast setting. And if you don't have things where you want them, it's very hard to get them there. So I'm going to go ahead and mark where these go. Okay, now it's gonna be time to start gluing. Now I'm putting my mask on, so I'm not gonna be talking through this whole process. And here they are, guys. Here are my all assembled Nightwing sticks, completely made out of PVC. These things cost me a grand total of probably $35 to build, both of them, and I still have to make the little ones that are going to be put in my back. But I hope that this has been helpful to you guys. If any of you guys are Nightwing cosplayers, this is a really great way to make any kind of stick, bow staff, any kind of prop like this. This is probably the best way to do it. Just go ahead and use PVC pipe. But come back for the next video and I will show you how I am going to be finishing these up. I have a cool little trick that I'm going to show you guys, and then I'll show you how to prime, paint, weather, all of that kind of stuff, and that video will probably be up on this channel next week. So go ahead, give this video a like, and give my channel a subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.